Welcome back here to Mountain Connections. The second scheduled event for the Park City Speaker Series is happening tomorrow over at the Jim Santee Auditorium at 6 p.m. And the topic for the evening is the architecture of life. We have two of the three speakers here with us here to talk about the event as well as a little bit about their topics. Jenni Haines here with Building Amazing Experiences and David Wintzer with the Building of You. How are you two doing today?
Great.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. So before we get into your guys' individual topics and the topic of tomorrow, let's learn a little bit more about the Park City Speaker Series. What is this all about?
Sure. It was started by Terry Sidford, who is a speaker and author. I think you have her here on your
absolutely.
show. You all know Terry. And she was looking for a place to practice her talk, her TED Talk, before she went out again to do that.
Okay.
So she asked the library if she could use a little room, and they said, well, use the Jim Santee Auditorium. And then other people joined in, and 100 people came to watch, and it's grown into an amazing, we're actually the third series.
Third
series.
Third series.
That's okay.
And as the Park City Library always does, coming through, you ask for a small room, they give you the giant Jim Santee Auditorium, which is fantastic.
They've been fabulous. They're wonderful to sponsor this event for us, so we appreciate their
So it's really just like a community-wide TED Talks event, basically.
Yes,
that's so great.
It's for speakers like us who are trying out our talk for the first time, whether it turns into a keynote or a TED Talk. It's giving us the opportunity to try it out, get some feedback. We'll ask for evaluations. We'd love to know what people liked, what they would like to see.
That's great.
And that way we can take that on when we go on the road.
That's amazing.
To our huge career of
speaking across America.
That's right. Oh, the globe. Let's not limit it.
I love it. Let's talk a little bit about tomorrow's specific theme. David, tomorrow is the architecture of life. So what is the talk's going to be all about tomorrow?
Yeah, so Kelly Wolf, who's not here, her talk it's about finding love over worry.
I love it.
And kind of the architecture of building through that process. Mine is the building of you, and I work in commercial construction.
Okay.
And so the more I started breaking it down, the more I started seeing the similarities of building a building and building the life you want. And so I talk about the elements of construction, from pouring a good foundation to hauling off dirt to framing your building, and I compare it to the aspects of you trying to build the vision of what you want for your particular life.
I love that. That's a great metaphor there as well. And I'm sure, as you said, as you've built, you kind of probably witnessed that metaphor in action almost, kind of, as you said, building a very strong foundation is the key to any successful home, and that's going to be the key to any successful life as well. Jenni, let's talk about yours, building amazing experiences.
Yes, well, most of my career has been in hospitality and customer service. So this is a fun walk through a little bit of my history to capture some of the moments that built on each other to create a customer service memory that built the experience. So I'm able to share a lot of my history lessons, and the tagline of my talk is a humorous and educational glimpse behind the smile.
I love it. And I love the humorous aspect there as well. You got to have fun and you got to enjoy that aspect of it as well. But this is a really big, important topic for anyone really working here in Park City. As we know, the service industry and the experience industry, as you can say as a whole, is really the driver of our economy. So having some good insights in this is a key thing here. David, let's talk a little bit about the audience. What's the one key takeaway you want the audience to take from your talk tomorrow night?
From my talk, I think it's that it's a process. It takes time to build a building. It's messy. There's a lot of dark days when you're constructing something of importance, and you just got to start. And the whole thing is, without commitment, you'll never start, and without consistency, you'll never finish. And so I just want people to understand that there is a process when you're constructing a building, and you can't skip any of the steps. And so I try and give everyone the tools in relating it to construction, how they can go out and kind of kickstart their goal.
Having a blueprint, having a plan, having a solid set of goals. And as you said, things aren't great every single day. There's days that are really tough where you wake up and you say, well, why am I doing this? What am I doing? It's the same exact thing as you said, building a home. You got to keep your eye on that end vision, that end goal, and what you're working towards.
Correct.
Same question for you, Jenni. Sure. What's the main takeaway that you'd like the audience to have from your talk?
Kind of from my tagline, it's more than just having a nice smile. There's a lot of things that have to go behind that to build up to what that moment can be. If you're not stocked properly, if you don't know everything about your job, if you don't have knowledge of the area, if you're not sure exactly what you're doing, or you've not been trained properly, even if you're enthusiastic, you're positive, you're willing to help, even though you're smiling doesn't always mean that it's going to be a great experience, because an experience isn't always guaranteed to be good.
Absolutely.
There's a whole business around service recovery just for that very notion.
Very reason.
So What I want people to walk away with is a way for me to show them the steps to get to build the memory that creates that experience.
Well, I like that you say that, because a lot of the time, I mean, some of the best memories in everyone's life are ones that are not forced, kind of just in the moment, creative. They come up and you remember them forever. So creating those experiences for people is very hard, because you don't want it to feel forced. You want it to feel like a genuine moment that they're going to remember forever.
Absolutely.
And these are key things here. Let's talk a little bit about the benefit to the community as a whole for having a series like this come to Park City and really just be a community-focused experience as well. Why is it such an important thing to have something like this here in Park City?
Well, I mean, Park City has so many events as it is, but they're not necessarily all free. And this is really good for the people in the community like Jenni, Kelly, and myself to practice a craft that we're working on. Absolutely. And give our audience something that we've been working on and a passion that we have, but also get their feedback to help us pursue this a little bit further and kind of give just people a good event to come participate in without having to have a financial cost behind it.
That's great. Something a lot to learn as well. Let's talk about how you can get involved for the people maybe watching this who are like, you know what, I would maybe want to try that myself. And there's maybe some stuff that I would want to talk about in the future. What's the best way to get involved with this Park City Speaker Series?
Sure. Right now, it would be contacting the library.
Okay.
It's still in its growing and morphing phases, so there's not a website yet.
Okay.
The plan is to have it quarterly instead of monthly, so that we can try to really round out the speakers and get better prepared, make sure that it's going to all flow purposefully
and make sure everything goes well and all the topics are succinct and everything like that. I do want to talk about where people can go to learn a little bit more about you guys. Do you guys have any websites or anything like that? As you said, you guys are kind of practicing to get ready for more talks.
Absolutely, and my goal is actually to turn these talks into some trainings and workshops that I do. So I do a lot of my own trainings. My company is Jenni Haines Hospitality, so I have a lot of customized and created training and workshops that I've made for local companies, for Deer Valley, for Park City Chamber, for Aloha Ski and Snowboard,
Excellent.
as well as Marriott and Ritz-Carlton and other companies globally that I do a lot of work for. So I can train to your content, or I can train to what your needs are and customize it and personalize it for you, your team, your business, your corporation, your convention.
That's excellent.
So jhaineshospitality.com.
jhaineshospitality.com. And for you, David?
No, I'm the worst at this. I'm still, the commercial construction's my main gig, and but no, my Instagram is David James Wintzer, but
still kicking up on the speaking side, so you go to the Park City Speaker Series and check him out. Thank you guys so very much for joining us. Really appreciate it, and kind of giving us some insight on what tomorrow's topic is all about. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
Absolutely.
Diego.
Head over to the Jim Santee Auditorium tomorrow, June 20th at 6 p.m. for the Architecture of Life Park City Speaker Series talks happening. You're not going to want to miss out. Plus, it's a great help you're providing to these speakers as they ask for your feedback as they move forward in their speaking careers. Again, the Architecture of Life tomorrow, June 20th, 6 p.m. at the Jim Santee Auditorium. We'll see you there.